a few different things with that. Why don't I just let you tell us about your company?
Okay, Veggies Become You is a company. I deal with a lot of people that have diabetes, cancer, irritable bowel syndrome, celiac disease, what else? You name it. Dealt with people that are vegan that basically are on a protein diet. They want to boost their protein, so I work with them. So basically, whatever health challenges they have, I basically customize a plan for them, the food for them, and I help work with them to start healing their own body.
Right.
So that is that. And then I do classes. So I do classes basically I've been doing classes every Saturday, from learning about water kefir to kombucha to, what else? Water kefir, kombucha, talking about the vegan diet, gluten-free diet, talking about the raw diet, talking about high protein for the athletes out there that basically need that, and using animals, talking about organic, doing gourmet. So I basically do a lot of customized meals for each individual person. So I'm out there doing catering, and I'm out there doing demonstrations for different groups for health, for whether it's diabetes, heart disease, or gluten-free. Anything that they have, I try to customize and make it work for them, because my thing is optimum health. I want them to have optimal health at the best problem. Basically, sugar right now is at the forefront of what we have. We're the most obese country. We're the richest country, but we're also the sickest country due to the sugar, the process. So I want them to know the balance, and the people that are really suffering are our children. They're growing up in their sense. They don't know what it's like to go to a farm and look at things to grow from, like the plant, what it comes from. They think everything comes from a jar or a can. So I'm like, are you crazy? We need to educate them so they can develop a palate. Everything they have, from even in the school lunches. So I work with Slow Food Movement and educating our kids about how to get a healthy balance and how to have a discerning taste of actual vegetables and fruit and meat. And I work, like I said, I work with everybody. So I'm either doing classes, doing demos, you name it. I'm basically out there just doing it. I'm doing a blog. I have a newsletter. So I talk about kava, because I'm just not doing that. I'm mixing kava with something that you can eat, which is a natural anesthetic that people use. They use in the Polynesian. So I'm even talking about hibiscus. So I mix foods and herbs together that come in a combination that you can use that actually heals the body. And it's just you basically taking it in and really manipulating your DNA to make it more positive. So wherever I feel there's a niche or a need, I try to be there, from the holistic front to working with a natural path to working with the chiropractor that's good in nutrition. So I'll get referrals from both of those, either a natural path or a doctor, or someone that has a problem and says, you know what, Ceci, I have this issue and I couldn't fix it. Could you work with them? You're good on nutrition. So I'll even go into people's home, which I call a pantry raid, if you will. I go in your home, I remove all the bad stuff from the chemicals, the process, anything that is not good for your diet or your lifestyle change, like I like to call it, and make it good. So what I'll do is I'll go in there, remove it, go shopping with you, show you what to do, give you resources, and we'll make meals together. And then I leave some recipes for you. And if you have any questions, you call me back. You call me on the phone, and then I help you. And I make sure that you're getting along with your resources or people that are in your area that are going to support you with your diet. So it's life-sustaining, not just a diet that went here and then I go and you leave it behind. Vegan, or you're vegan raw, or either you can be one or the other. No one really mixed it up, and I started looking at people's health, and then I started making me look at the science of things. Not everybody has to be vegan. Not everybody's meant to be vegan. Not everybody is meant to have a certain diet. Everybody's is different, just like everybody has different spiritual guides, everybody has different gifts, as you will, same thing with your body. So why should your body in this earthly plane be stuck in one thing? Why should we all be vegetarians? It's not.
Absolutely.
That's not the way life is. You know, they have lions,
Right.
and they're like, oh, well, lions eat meat. They're carnivores. You know, they were talking about apes and stuff, but there's reasons why we are the way we are.
Exactly, and the key is to understand how the food reacts with you. And in many cases, like I wonder if you know about this. Like I'm just going to throw stuff at you, you know, and see what you know, because you've got education behind you, and I don't. But you know, way back, I remember hearing about way back when I think it might have been like the 80s. You know what I mean? And they were all on about the ADHD kids and getting them on Ritalin and Talwin. And I came across a show, and they were talking about how so many times what the problem really is a food allergy, and that once they found the food that the child was reacting to, the behavior problems didn't exist. And oftentimes it was the food that the child craved the most that was causing the problem. Have you found that at all to be a valid?
True. Yeah, I have. I was labeled ADHD child as a kid back in the 80s.
There you go.
Going in the 90s, somewhere around there. But my mother didn't put me on Ritalin. My mother took me, and I followed the Dr. Feingold diet. And it was about removing the chemicals and the process off of the diet for me to actually be on, where I didn't have chemicals or poison or going through my body making me like a zombie. So my mother just said, okay, well, Dr. Feingold was a German doctor that said if we remove this, the chemicals, the process, the colors, the additives, the preservatives, everything that was not good for my body, the process, I would be a very intelligent child. I would be able to sit still. Now, I was talkative, but I didn't move as much. But I love Dr. Feingold's diet, so maybe that's why I've always thought that there's a cure for what I call changing the DNA code. I'm calling it health coding, and having another health code of just changing the health code in your body. So
Right. Now, as it relates to, and I know that a really good friend to my show, we call him my brother around here, and he's just such a great guy, and his wife is, you know, there's so many people really that I feel have been improperly diagnosed with and lumped in as being fibromyalgia sufferers, you know? And how often do you think that food is playing a role in a fibromyalgia misdiagnosis? It's
playing a major role. Major role. It's playing about, I say, 89.9%.
Yeah. Now, I've heard that just get rid of all white foods, so white flour, white everything. Now, is that something that you've heard?
I've heard.
As it relates specifically to fibromyalgia.
Right, because it's basically what it is processed food, all processed food. But they tell you to get rid of all nightshade vegetables, too.
Nightshade vegetables, and what will we call those?
Eggplant, tomatoes, asparagus, carrots, your basic root vegetables, because the bromine in them reacts differently with your body and your body makeup, so it causes arthritis and unexplainable pain. And the thing is, I am partly Sicilian, so, you know, everything we use has tomatoes or garlic and basil in it. So I feel really bad. And zucchini and eggplant, that is just exactly what I was raised on. Right.
Now, how do you feel, what do you know about chia seeds?
I love chia seeds. They're the superfood that's out there that you can use it to basically boost up your system. You can use it as a natural thickener. You can use it as cereal. It basically helps you, give you energy, which you really need. And all it takes is 2 teaspoons of chia seed and water, and it expands like nobody's business. It's